Okay, your title for today is Graphing Linear Equations. We're starting a new unit today that has to do with lines. Everything is going to have to do with graphing lines or talking about lines, equations, tables, all that kind of stuff. So today we're going to start with just how do we graph a line in general without any shortcuts, just how we would do it. So I do need you to pause and write these two sentences down. The first one is a definition of a linear equation. A linear equation is an equation whose graph is a line. The points on the line are solutions to the equation. So solutions is another word for answer. Every point on that line is an answer for that equation. So there are multiple answers, but it's not everything. So it's not infinitely many necessarily. It's not no solution necessarily. But there are multiple answers. They're just all points on the line. Okay, this can be our first example. You've been given some graph paper and some scissors and glue so that you can cut and paste these graphs in your notes with your table. So I do want you to write down what I write down in the table and also then graph it when I graph it in your spiral as well. So if you want to take a minute and glue one of these in, and then you can unpause. Okay, so when we are graphing these equations right here on my table, this is a linear equation. Y equals x plus 1 is a linear equation. So they're going to have x and y included, not just one variable, but two, which is why we have multiple solutions. But you are going to pick anything you want for x. And most of the times I'll tell you what to pick, but just know that technically you could pick anything. But I'm going to pick what's easiest for you so you can graph it easily or plug it in easily. So it doesn't, I'm not picking these for any reason other than I think they're the easiest ones to use. So we're going to go from -1 up to +2, okay? Then I'm going to take this equation and instead of x, I'm going to replace it with whatever we chose. So I'm going to have -1 plus 1. Well, that's 0, so y is 0. Here, I'm going to have 0 plus 1. That's 1, so y is 1. And I'd have 1 plus 1 is 2. And let me erase that. So 2 plus 1 would give us 3. Now I have ordered pairs. I'm going to take what I found for x and y and write it as an ordered pair. So this would be -1 comma 0. Or here's 0, 1, 1, 2, and 2, 3. Okay? Now we're going to plot these points on our graph. Remember, you always go left to right for x, and then y is up or down. So this would be -1, 0 right here, 0, 1, 1, 2, and 2, 3. Okay? And then we're going to connect those points. Lines go on forever, so it's really important that we make them take up the entire space and have arrows on the end. Okay? It goes on forever. It is not just one short little line right in here where my points are. Okay? If you are not able to draw a line through your points, then you need to go back and check your work because odds are that you made a mistake when you're looking for your y. Okay? So again, you should have the table and the graph in your notes. And now we're going to try another one. Okay, so now I have a new linear equation. Y equals -2x plus 1. And again, I'm going to choose my x's to be -1, 0, 1, and 2 for no particular reason other than I think they're the easiest ones to choose. And then I'm going to plug in -1 for x. So this -2 is in front. When I plug in my -1, I want to use parentheses, which means we're going to multiply those together. So all I've done is swap out x for a -1. Okay, this would be +2 plus 1 is 3. Now I'm going to plug in a 0. This would be -2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. Now I'm going to plug in a 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. And if you want, you can type this into your calculator. Negative 2 times 0 plus 1, your calculator will give you 1. Here, negative 2 times 2 plus 1, this would be negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. But again, if you want, you can just type this piece into your calculator. It'll give you negative 3. Okay, at this point, I am going to write my x and my y as an ordered pair. So this one is negative 1, 3, 0, 1, 1, negative 1, and 2, negative 3. And we're going to put those on our graph. So again, you want to glue in a new graph so you can have these in your notes. But you'd have negative 1, 3, 0, 1, 1, negative 1, and 2, negative 3. Okay, when you draw your line, you want to make sure that it goes all the way across and has arrows on the end. Okay, lines go on forever. Okay, again, pause if you need to catch up, but you should have the table and the graph, and you can unpause when you're ready. Okay, new equation, but same idea. So this time I'm going to replace x right here, again with negative 1 first. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, minus 6 is negative 10. So here this would be 4 times 0 is 0, minus 6 is negative 6. Four times 1 is 4, minus 6 is negative 2. Four times 2 is 8, minus 6 is 2. So then my ordered pairs would be negative 1, negative 10, 0, negative 6, 1, negative 2, and 2, 2. Okay, so now I'm going to graph these on my graph. So again, you want to make sure you glue another one in. Okay, so there's my 4 points. I'm going to connect them. My line goes all the way across and should have arrows on the end. Okay. Last one, I want you to try this one on your own, and then when you are finished, you can unpause and check your answer with mine. All right, so this is what your table and your line should look like. Make sure yours matches mine, and then you're ready for your homework. So at this point, you can raise your hand, show me your notes. You have to have all 4 done, and then I'll give you your homework.